an Aurora gas station.
She said that he shouted a few things of, "You're not welcome here, we don't like your kind, go away."
A victim of a hate crime, now worried the suspect will find him or target someone else.
Pues es que estaba muy agresivo.
I can't speak Spanish out here in fear of someone doing something to me or assaulting me or pouring gas on me. It sucks. It really does.
President Biden signs a new order protecting people seeking abortions in other states.
My administration has their back.
And looking for new ways to harvest renewable energy.
We're taking a deeper look at one option that's right under our feet.
We call it the invisible renewable.
And first at 5, a fire in Aurora has destroyed one home and damaged 2 others.
This is just south of the Quincy Reservoir off East Smoky Hill Road, and that is where we find Denver 7's Rob Harris.
And Rob, thankfully there were no injuries in this fire.
Yeah, and that is the good news that we're learning from Aurora Fire. As you can see behind me, firefighters are now starting to roll up their hoses. That's a somewhat good sign because we're not seeing any active flames anymore from any of the 3 houses that were impacted. However, we are going to see a heavy fire presence for some time because they're still investigating, trying to determine exactly how this fire started and actually even which house the fire started in. Firefighters tell me at this point that's not clear. But we do know that the call for this fire came in at 2:45 p.m. And I actually talked to the neighbor who made that call to 911. I want to share with you what he described as he smelled and saw his neighborhood basically go up in flames.
I looked out front, and in between the 2 houses, all I could see was just showers of flames. I mean, huge flames. Other neighbors are breaking into the homes, knocking down doors, trying to make sure everyone is okay. To me, that was the best thing out of this whole rotten tragedy, was to see how the community came together and really helped each other out.
That's a sentiment I've heard from actually quite a few neighbors, some of whom didn't want to talk on camera, but they've all kind of come out to gather around each other and basically take this in and try to be there for the residents of the homes behind me that were impacted by this fire. Once again, we don't know the cause of this fire, but investigators will be on scene to try to determine that for some time. Live in Aurora, Rob Harris, Denver 7.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. Well, nearly 2 weeks ago, a man attacked 2 people in an Aurora gas station and tried to light them on fire.
And one of the victims tells Denver 7 he was targeted for speaking Spanish and spoke with Denver 7's Veronica Acosta about what happened.
A late-night stop at this gas station in Aurora was supposed to be quick for Rimel. He was in the area getting a haircut for the first time since coming to the U.S.
Llevaba ya más o menos como, sí, más de 3 meses.
He'd been in the country for more than 3 months now, he says. Rimel expected a high price at the pump, never to be attacked because of the language he speaks.
Cuando levanté la mirada vi que
Rimel says he sent his friend inside the gas station to pay that night. When he looked up, he saw a man yelling at him, trying to push him around. Eventually, that man approached Rimel outside.
escuché eso, volteé y el muchacho me hizo
He
así
took
con
the
la
pump out of his
gasolina
car,
y la
spraying
puso en la
Rimel with
esta
gas.
Él me la echó en la
He says the
playera y en el
man got the
pantalón,
gas
me dejó
all
todo
over
aquí
his
parado.
shirt and pants, then tried lighting him on fire. Chris Martinez, who works at the gas station, says he rolled into work just as the suspect was leaving, shocked after watching surveillance videos showing the suspect attack the 2 men.
I play music in the store most of the time in Spanish. I speak Spanish to most of the customers, and for them to feel or see that someone got poured gas on them for just speaking Spanish is very, very frightening.
Aurora police say this is the man they're looking for, and this is the car he was driving that night. While they continue searching for him, Rimel says he lives in a bit of fear.
El miedo es que uno con el carro
Scared the suspect will spot his car, find him, and target him again.
te encuentre con el muchacho.
In Aurora, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Again, this attack happened back on July 23rd at the Rocket gas station on South Havana Street, and the suspect took off in a dark sedan. Please, anyone with information, call Aurora Police at the number right there on your screen. And looking deeper tonight, bias-motivated crimes are sadly not uncommon in Aurora. Over the last 6 months of last year, just under 20 hate crimes were reported to Aurora Police. These included crimes against a person's race and sexual orientation. This year, those numbers are even higher. Aurora Police have responded to 23 hate crimes in just the last 7 months. Last year, Aurora created a dedicated bias-motivated unit, and that unit is specifically in charge of investigating these hate crimes and arresting those who commit them.
Indiana Republican Congresswoman Jackie Walorski and 2 staff members were killed in a car crash in her district this afternoon. Police say a car crossed the center line, collided head-on with the SUV Walorski was in. She served in Congress since 2012. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has ordered flags at the Capitol to fly at half-staff.
The NFL wants a harsher punishment for Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. Today, the league announced it will appeal the 6-game suspension for Watson and push for a full season suspension instead. Watson has been under investigation for months over accusations of sexual assault and harassment by dozens of women. It is now up to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell to determine who will hear the league's appeal. Today, President Biden signed an executive order to support people traveling out of state for abortions.
The order directs his administration to look for ways also to expand Medicaid to cover travel costs. The president's order also helps ensure health care providers comply with federal non-discrimination laws so women can get the necessary medical care without delay. A majority of voters in Kansas decided last night to protect abortion rights in that state. And this was the first vote on abortion since the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade. Well, results of a statewide Secretary of State recount for Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters starting to trickle in this evening. In southern Colorado, Peters gained one more vote. In El Paso County, her opponent, Pam Anderson, gained 2. So Peters actually lost 1 vote with the recount so far. She spent $255,000 for the recount, which should finish by tomorrow.
Right now, researchers are looking for ways to slow down the effects of climate change, and renewable energy is one key factor they're looking into.
And most people associate solar or wind and solar with renewable energy, but Denver 7's Megan Lopez shows us that a third option that's very abundant in Colorado lies right beneath the surface.
In a wide open field in Elbert County, giants loom in the distance. Wind farms are one of Colorado's ways to tap into renewable energy along with solar panels. But when the wind stops blowing or clouds move in, the energy production pauses. That could be,
We call it the invisible renewable.
where a different type of energy steps in. One Colorado is abundant with but has yet to truly tap. Geothermal.
So geothermal is referring to heat extraction from the earth and also heat exchange in the earth.
It's a process of drilling down into the earth to reach water that can be used for heating, cooling, and energy production.
So it's got the smallest land footprint of any of the renewables, much less the fossil energy sources.
Because of our geography, Colorado and western states have a lot of geothermal resources. Our hot springs are proof. Some areas like Pagosa Springs and this neighborhood in Arvada have started to use geothermal for heat.
It's unique because the entire neighborhood is built without any gas dependence.
But while states like Utah and California have built geothermal energy production facilities, Colorado has not. That's why this month Governor Jared Polis started the Heat Beneath Our Feet initiative to encourage western states to start tapping this resource. It's also why
we don't know what exactly it's going to look like in 10 years from now.
State legislators passed 2 bipartisan laws this year to encourage its development. Because geothermal is expensive up front, lawmakers are approaching it like solar.
We've done great stuff in the past before with solar energy, where we give incentives to homeowners who put solar panels on their house. We have the same opportunity to do that with geothermal.
Hoping this could be the future of everything, from powering our cities to heating our homes.
The bottom line is we have this untapped resource beneath our feet and we could use it.
But the first part is helping people understand it. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
There should be no reason that any student should walk into a school and not have access to food.
Saying goodbye to free school lunch.
Programs like the school lunch thing are super important.
How one local group is now making sure students in Colorado don't go hungry this upcoming school year.
It just became too late. We had to act.
Not quite as warm across the Front Range today with highs close to 90 degrees. We'll stay mild here for the rest of the evening, but we do have good chances for rain coming up in the next few days. I'll tell you exactly when in a few minutes.
Plus, a conspiracy theorist finally admits the truth.
I think Sandy Hook happened. It's 100% real.
Right after his lawyers accidentally leaked years of texts, emails, and financial statements.